for. That's what I figured.
All right, we are finally ready to go, folks.
We have new friend.
We have new friend.
He named
Old
Dr.
friend.
Man.
John, if you could move around into camera view, please, that would be great.
Oh. I was like,
Mute your phone.
Yeah.
Hello to all
You're
friends.
being a
It's
bit
been
much.
way too long since we've played. This
Being a bit much.
has been 2 months in the works. There we go. A little bit better. All right. So, introductions once again for those of you who are not present for the earlier CTAG campaigns. Each one go around the table, introduce yourself IRL and the character you'll be playing. Starting with John. Okay, start with Carl.
Johnny Shaq.
Okay, what are we doing?
Introduce your name to the viewers and the character you will be playing.
Okay, my name is Oliver. I am 236 years old. I am a wood elf. I'm just trying to travel the world, proving myself to everybody, really.
Okay. And your real life name?
My name's Carl.
that was what I was looking for the most.
Okay.
All right.
My real name in the real world is Smith.
Okay.
And,
Yes, it is.
You can go by Bam Bam.
or Bam Bam.
That's what we'll call you. They know you're called Bam Bam.
Yeah.
My character name is Weston Smith. I am known for a tinkerer as a gun maker, possibly future down the road. I'm 35, male, dragonborn. My element is fire.
Okay.
Just looking for love.
All right.
I'm Trevor. Everybody knows me. Everybody loves me.
We do.
My name is Sam Teflin. Or Tellith, sorry. I am a bounty hunter. And I'm currently traveling around trying to find enough money to finish up my mission of finding my family's kidnappers.
Yeah, kissing. And staring down that cup of foamed espresso while he's doing it. All right. Finally.
Hello to all. My name is John. Character's name is Panzer. Or with your native tongue. I am
Very
lizard
respectful.
It's lizard folk. Adventure, looking for tasty things. Wants to try everything at least once.
Okay.
I have grabbed my 20 copper.
Okay.
Because
I was going to dish that out.
Yeah,
Mr. Impatient.
Yep, I'm Mr. Impatient.
You only have so
out
many
to prove
years left.
myself and improve my city.
Okay. All right, and I am Joe, the DM and designer of this game, and as everyone can see from if you were around last sessions, I cut my hair for this campaign, and I'm going to grow it out until it becomes a nice flourishing top knot, probably a year or two down the road.
If we don't all die first.
Yeah, if you don't die first, then I have to buzz it off again.
I activate my
So-
super skill.
All right.
Survivor.
So,
I am the
Do I need to
survivor!
donate through there, or can I kind of send it to you? If I did send it to you,
It's
would
so
somebody else
funny
do
and
that?
so sad at
Like,
the same time.
yeah, just
Although
send
you
it through
want the
there, and
other
it'll pop up on screen.
Okay.
But you don't have to do it
Well,
now if you don't
no,
want to.
I
It's
survived.
just whatever you want.
No,
All right.
I am the
All right.
First,
Um,
very beginning.
Yes.
You are middle class. You started with 20 copper.
Yeah.
Okay. You are royalty.
He's advanced.
Therefore,
Third in line.
you will start with 3 silver
He's a shitty friend.
and ignore whatever you got written down because I'm changing it.
Okay, go.
And 5 copper. There you
Do
go.
you have my white bag?
I have a spare. I don't know if it's your white bag or not.
It's the monk bag.
I'm pulling up things.
Don't die, don't die.
That's why I'm hiding it.
Why?
Because I love you.
Guys, just letting y'all know this is his first time just really opening out.
There you go.
Yes, my
That's
first
my
time
that's
opening
my
up.
spare. I don't know where yours is for the moment.
Okay.
So, I had 2 of them.
Yeet, yeet.
All right. Give me a minute. Trevor, you are middle class. Also with state funding, you'll receive 10 silver pieces. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10 copper pieces.
Okay, I wanna, like, it's gonna look like shady business over here, but I'm just hiding sensitive information.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, there we go. And that is to...
Thank you, my lord.
There we go. Carl, you already went and jumped the gun. You already got yours. Bam Bam. Initiates into the group. You receive your own genuine leather purse as being a member of our group.
And it is so your color.
So, that being said, you are no one in particular, bit of an inventor, worker, laborer, practically brand new. So, you get 1 silver piece, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 copper pieces. Now, we did have a little bit of an issue. Bam Bam wasn't able to show up early to build his character, so if his character changes in the near future, that's why. Alright. And Carl, you're an outcast, so you get the least money of everybody.
Yep.
So, that being said, also new updates to the game since our last time playing almost 2.5 months ago. The game name has changed officially. It's no longer C-Tag, the Chronicles of the Adventure Guilds. It is called The Far Pages. For those of you
would need to watch it to understand.
yeah, you'd need to watch the first campaign to understand. That being said, in honor of John's old character, a blue D16. For Bam Bam's red Dragonborn, a red D16. Let's see here. Green for the Wood Elf. And purple for the token gay.
Oh, hi.
You said it first, not me.
Shit.
That hit my dick.
It's just like all my other dice. It runs away.
There you go.
Don't
D16. Actually, that actually matches your dice. I didn't
Yeah, it
realize
does.
that, so perfect.
I'm colorblind.
All right. That being said, we'll get started. We have to be done at about 10:15 tonight. We're starting a little late, but
He definitely coming back home tonight.
Oh, I didn't
Probably.
do 2 of these.
Huh?
Forgot about that. Forgot we're not staying up very late.
I mean, next time we will probably play from Bam Bam's house, depending on situation. So if we do,
It's all up to him.
plan on staying up later. So
I definitely would oblige to that.
yeah, we would need to double check and see streaming speeds and stuff
We
like
do need
that.
to make sure we're going to have a ride there.
Yeah, Carl.
My car is getting fixed tomorrow.
Good. All right.
Sorry to put it all on you.
That being said, I actually wrote things
That was
down.
literally in the middle, like it was right after I got off the phone with you. It happened.
That's great.
Yep.
All right. So, we will open the story on Trevor. Your character named Sam. Okay. I gotta take these notes. Give me my purple pin of power. Where's no?
It's right in the
My
middle.
purple pin of power is over here.
Oh, pen. Sorry. I thought
Thank you. I have 5 of them. I'm used to only having 4.
No, we need to get these out. Set 'em
So,
around.
what
This one
did
is
you
yours.
have a last name or just Sam?
Sam Talith. Telita.
All right. The story opens on widespread, tall, dry, grassy fields. Hills stretch before you endlessly in a broad, gigantic sky. To your left, the west, there are huge mountains blue in the distance. Ahead of you, nothing but open sky, and in the very far distance to your right in the east,
This is where I interrupt you.
Fuck you. But thank you for the money. You need to get a shorter donation.
Very slowly, we will get that camera.
we will slowly have a... I just... My alert box hates me.
That's sad that old players aren't doing it.
There we go. Muted it for
I'm
now.
not trying to say anything.
I don't know
We'll be
why it
big
started doing
eventually.
that.
I'm not trying to say anything.
There we go. Hopefully that'll be fine right now. The alert box is fine. I think I bugged it out because I clicked on it. It was layered under stuff. Anyway. Are we good? Okay. Alright. That being said, as you walk your relatively new, for a few months, boots that have been your only means of transportation since you came to this continent, you continue to walk north, following general landmarks, keeping the mountains on your left and the ocean far off to the distance, just barely visible in your mind's eye. As you crest over another hill, you hear a rare sound. A sound that not many people have truly ever heard before. The sound of an eagle screaming in the distance. Not the typical sound that people think an eagle makes when it squawks, but a true scream of power. And as you look, as you trudge along, you see two of them battling in the sky, swooping down upon each other. A symbol of the true wild freedom of this wild place.
Go one to the left.
As you continue walking
Take off my mask.
over hills, the grass rustling past you, absorbing your trail behind you, leaving no sign of your presence. Finally, you come to a road. And as the road turns a little bit to your right, you take the road. You crest over a hill and you see the town of your destination. Town known as Dry Gulch. What do you do?
I roll my shoulders. Look, is the gate guarded?
There is no gate. It's an open-walled town.
Okay. I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna head for the sheriff's office.
Okay. So, sheriff's office. We actually labeled these on the map. I will get a scan print onto the screen for everybody eventually. Sheriff's office is right there.
And I entered here.
You entered here,
Here.
right next to Boot Hill. So, as you walk through the town, you see races you have never seen before. You haven't had much contact with anyone except for the strange, distant rider walking along. You see men with rough clothing, beards grown out long. No one cares to shave for the most part around here. For the most part, everyone's pretty dirty. It's dusty. The streets kick up clouds when people walk down them. There are a number of tables on restaurants and buildings as you walk by, just sitting benches. You see everything from goblins playing cards to rat folks staring past their drinks at you. A stranger walking into town. As you walk, you see a board with a general layout of the town. You find the sheriff's office is just up and around the corner. As you walk up, step up onto the boardwalk, you open the door and your eyes have to adjust for a moment. It's dusty. It's quiet. Except for a low, growling snore. As you turn to look back, here right next to the door, boots, muddy spurs set up on the desk, hat pulled down almost to his tusks, sits the figure, bulky, brawn, also fat, of an orc. On his vest, the star of a sheriff.
I look around. Is there a bounty board?
Roll an observance check.
That'll be a 14.
14. You do see a bounty board. It's pinned under various other things that have been just stuck on here, you know, receipts, stuff that, you know, has been old and distant. Not many people pay attention to the bounty board for some reason, and it gets used for other things. But looking over it, you find a couple wanted posters, but the one that stands out with the most reward, 100 gold pieces. Calvera. You see, as you look at the page, there is a man with a short handlebarred mustache, black, short cropped hair, and a weathered look on his face.
Does it have a? Does it specify dead or alive?
It specifies dead or alive.
Okay. I take it.
Okay.
Put it in my pouch and leave.
As you leave, the sheriff never even wakes up. We'll move on to you and John. It's about this time. It's about 10:30, 11 in the morning.
Okay.
You're riding the stagecoach into town. You're sitting up front with your bow strapped across your knee, your arrows over your shoulder. Your lizard folk friend.
I'll be in front, beside the horses, shield on, and walking with the horses.
They
Yeah.
run. They're
Oh, they're running.
Yeah, they're running too fast for you to keep up with them.
Okay, yeah.
You're gonna be riding on the back or on
Okay.
the top.
Yeah,
So
I'll be on the back.
okay, but you're sitting there on the back, keeping watch behind. Alf keeping watch up front. You pull in through the town and you come in from the north, right in through here. You run in. You see a large windmill, lumberyard, men, various creatures, beings working there. People walk the streets. You move around and you stop at the bank, which I believe is number 3 right there, right next to the post office.
Yep.
You pull up next to it. A driver named Dave steps off, grabs the cash box, which has been sitting under his bench the entire time, walks inside the bank.
I go in behind him.
Okay. You?
I'm watching the carriage.
Okay. There's a number of people inside, a number of ladies, one gentleman, businessman.
Making sure no one goes in through the door. Like,
Okay.
People will go in, but no one shady goes in.
Oh, no one's shady around, beyond what you can see of the
Yeah.
town. But in this town, it's kind of hard to tell shady from respectable.
No.
So,
Continue.
but, do you pay any attention to the passengers at all?
Passengers.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was anyone else with us.
There's passengers in the stagecoach.
Okay.
They're getting out, or at least, you know, slowly opening it up, and the gentleman steps out first.
Okay.
Ends up helping one of the ladies out. Another lady steps out afterwards. You're still sitting on the front of the stage at the moment. Okay. You follow the banker, or the driver Dave in to the bank. Walks up to a man. I actually have notes for these characters now, instead of just making them up on the fly.
I'm so proud. Our baby GM is growing up.
So, the banker steps in, or the driver Dave steps in, and walks up to a glum-looking man. Silver skin, black hair, looks bored, almost drawn, tired.
Sorry.
You're good. He sits there. How can I help you? Dave throws the cash box up on the counter, pulls out some papers, hands it to him. Swap out?
I scan the area.
Okay. There's not much business going on, just some bookkeepers, both goblins, working, also tellers. The manager is not in sight. But the long, drawn man, slightly pointed ears, make an observation check.
14.
You're using your D16, right?
No.
If you're not proficient with it and you're not burning a proficiency point with it, use your D16.
Can I burn a proficiency point
To upgrade it to a D20, yes.
and make it a skill off of?
Do you have observance as a proficiency?
No.
Then no.
Okay.
D16 is the standard dice.
All right, that'll be a 9.
9?
D16s
Okay.
are very,
Looks like a very bored man.
Okay, I will attempt to
waited to give you
use leadership and inspire him.
Okay. What do you say to him?
How was outside on the travel zone this way? Was there no
Sunny.
trouble? Sunny, no trouble.
Sunny, no trouble.
It's a wonderful day outside. Not a lot of villains out and about. You should cheer up a little bit.
Why is it always the weather that they talk about? He goes over to the window and actually draws the shades a little bit more. And one of the goblins, Draco! Open the shades, I can't see my work. And it burns my skin. And he goes over and just barely reaches out and changes one shade to shed a little bit more light over their teller spots, but keep his a little darker.
Okay. What's new in the town?
What's new? Nothing interesting as far as I am concerned.
See.
Except for you, of course. Maybe, well, no. I think not. And he sets back over to his desk and goes back to his books.
Can I pry on what he was thinking?
Sure, go ahead and roll a charisma check.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've rolled these dice.
An 8.
Oh, these
8.
are these aren't your pink dice.
Well, he's hard to
Oh, these
read.
are
Let me
Monroe's
see
dice.
what we got here. This is a D16 game. Looks like he was about to offer you something, but thought better of it.
I am open to some kind of work. As I look to who the person has hired me already.
How are you dressed as a lizard folk?
Well, I have robed,
Okay.
a wooden shield in one arm. No hood or anything. My face is out.
Okay. Details of your race. Is it obvious you're male?
Yes.
Okay.
Tickle bitties.
Gotta remember that for the YouTube views. Are you watching on your phone at the same time? Yeah, that screws up our views. It helps me keep track of when people are watching and not. Okay. So at least I know it's you that's screwing over our views.
Oh,
So,
God, we're behind. It's like 16 seconds.
Is the video quality decent at least?
It's decent, yeah. It's
Okay.
just really far behind.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna have to make observance proficiency really quick.
How are you with the ladies, perhaps?
He likes them tickle bitties. Sorry, I'll shut up.
I'm pretty good. As long as I don't mind the scales.
For the right price. Pulls out a business card. I don't usually do this while on the clock. Slides it across. Draco's House of Pleasures. Slides a business card over to you. Name of the town, Dry Gulch, and a general description on the back of where it is. Maybe I'll see you around.
When's a good time?
That's a question we would usually ask you.
I see. So the transaction has been completed with my previous contract.
It takes a few minutes, but they swap out some more bills. The driver, he ends up talking in a back room with somebody.
observance.
You can try. Roll an observance with D4
I was gonna
disadvantage.
say, I'm actually gonna stand next to the door and just keep watch still.
Okay.
Five.
5. It's hard to listen.
Okay.
It's a
Are
decent.
they yelling or are they talking softly?
They're just talking softly.
Okay.
Just friends catching up.
Okay, cool.
But driver comes out. Dave carrying a couple sacks, mostly paper. You can hear rustling inside them. Opens up the cash box, pulls out the bags, puts his in, closes it up. He's like, "Well, I'll be keeping this with me. Come on out. We'll get you settled up." So he comes back out, spurs jingling, and hands each of you a silver piece. He's like, "This is your troubles. Good ride. Nothing important happened, thank goodness. The 9 have been a little skittish lately.
Why is that?
Savages.
More specific.
Who knows? Bad medicine. Who knows?" Steps back up on his carriage. "I gotta go get this thing parked, but as our agreement, unless you're planning on riding back and paying for it, we part ways here."
Be safe on your way back. Just because it was safe one way.
I got friends coming with me this way back. He's just laid up for a while. So, he skits up the horses and rides down the street. You're both standing in the middle of the street now. It's about this time. From the other end of town.
Before you, I'm sorry. What was the name of the guy that I got the contract for?
The contract, Calvera. Calvera.
Thank you. Sorry.
Sure.
Go on.
It's about this time. It's about noon. Bam Bam, you come walking in from the south. Spurs jingling behind you if you wear them. You don't have any proficiency with riding as it stands right now.
Let's see.
But you come in, weaving through a couple houses, not even paying attention to the roads, just walking across the fields of the town. What do? Over your shoulder, you have a few ingots of raw iron that you've been mining in the hills. It's taken you a few days to get back.
Have I ever been to this town?
You're known here. You don't spend much time in town, but you're known here.
I go to the known foundry.
Okay.
Or smith house.
That would be, you could either take it to the blacksmith, or usually when you have precious metals, you go to, I need to see that because I don't have them written down. You'd need to go to the assay office, which is also the pawn shop. Give me 1 second. I forgot to let the pressure off in the espresso maker.
It's gonna blow.
You should be known.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like The Shining.
Yeah, cool down enough.
I don't know. I thought you were.
I don't like to leave it. I don't like to leave it hot like that.
Oh,
It's not supposed to be kept like that under pressure. All right.
Do I currently have my own anvil?
You do up in the mountains, but you don't use it all that often. When you do tinker, it's usually a long, drawn-out process that takes you a while. But you have your Winchester. You have a 6-shooter, 20 rounds of ammunition for each.
Ignore me.
Alright, yes, I go to the nearest.
I got it. Thanks.
You could go to the smith, or you could go to the assay office.
Go to the smith.
Okay.
Thank you.
What would you say time for travel would be?
It just takes a few minutes to walk across town. Blacksmith. Okay, there we go. You got it marked on the map. I gotta seriously print out a few copies of this map.
When you want to mark something here, just use one of these markers. Let's try erase.
15. So it's actually just right next to the bank and the post office. Right in the middle of town, actually. A smith sitting there working. You come in through the little overhang that he's got in his little shop, you see a long, white-bearded dwarf sitting there working on an anvil.
Brought metal. I say to the dwarf.
Smith! Ah, it's about time you got here. I was expecting you 2 weeks ago. How much you got?
For you, 2 ingots.
Just 2. Come on, man. You're killing me. I've been waiting for this for a month almost.
Takes time to forge this stuff.
If you'd take the time to actually use coal like a normal person, it would be quicker. But no, you got to skimp on everything for me.
I like it old-fashioned.
Roll a charisma check.
What did you roll?
16. Or is charisma his?
Yeah, roll a d16, the special dice I gave you.
There it goes. Okay, slightly better.
You
So
may
that's
burn a proficiency
14?
point on this if
It's
you want to.
14.
If you burn a proficiency point on it, you can upgrade it to a d20 to roll it.
What is his proficiency modifier from what stat?
It's charisma.
His?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll
Because
go ahead and
he doesn't
upgrade
know how
that,
many
yeah.
points he has, probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you use charisma as your proficient stat, right?
Yeah, so you get to roll a d20.
Okay.
Correct? So 11 plus, so it's 18.
18? 18 will work. He sets his hammer down.
Is it a snap?
All right, fine. 2. How about we say 3 copper apiece?
Okay.
You're a good man, Smith. Even though you don't look like one.
Oh, racist.
Is that a bit racist, sir?
Oh, shut up, you scaly bastards. Take the coin.
The mask makes your voice kind of match the whole Dragonborn thing.
Puts his purse away. Takes the ingots off the counter. They're smaller. They're not like giant ingots or anything. They're smaller ingots. Takes them, sets them off to the side. He's like, I desperately need to find another person who works mines.
Now, I do have a question for you, sir.
All right, what is it?
Do you know where I can find the lead ore? Looking to get more bullets.
Tell you what. I'll keep an eye out for it.
Yes.
If you bring me 3 next time.
Deal.
All right. I'll keep an eye out for it and get you an ingot.
Very good.
3. Not 2.5. Not 2. 3. And if you want to make me happy, throw in a 4th. Now get out of here. I have
the lead for me.
Not now. I'll ask around about it, but it's
Okay.
gonna take until probably 6 months from now when you come back through again.
Very well.
Now get out of here. I've work to do.
I move on to the sheriff's department
Okay.
or sheriff's stable, whatever you would like.
Sheriff's
to call it.
office.
Sheriff's
It's a tiny little one-room building with a jail built onto the side.
Perfect.
You walk in. You recognize this fella. He is asleep, as usual. His name, if I could find, is Sheriff Ham.
Purple and gray.
He's a green-skinned, two-tusked orc with a nice beer belly. Tends to spend more of his time sending posses out, not riding with him, than actually doing the work himself.
So, supervisor job. Or supervisor.
The first great belch of the year.
Okay. I look around for a bounty board.
Okay. Go ahead and roll observance. If you want to burn a proficiency point on it again, you can. Your proficiency points are also off of your proficient stat. We're going to do that from now on. You choose a stat that you're proficient in. The stat that you choose for your character will give you your proficiency stats as well.
Okay, so I can roll a d20 for...
Burning 1 point. You get as many points a day as your stat is equal to.
Okay.
Yes.
And
So if you're proficient in melee precision, and that's the one that you chose at the beginning of the game, then that's the stat you calculate
so
for
most
your...
of the rolls are going to be 16s.
Yes.
Okay. Knowledge.
Do I have an ammunition slot?
Yeah, 20 of each.
20
You
of
can just put it in your equipment.
Right. Observance check is going to be a 13 plus 8.
Okay.
Damn.
That's 21.
21. That's
Pretty
good. You do notice a few pages underneath. There is one left on the board. It looks like someone's torn one off recently. But it's a picture of a short, stubby, round-faced person with their hair drawn up and wrapped around it. It looks like it's floofed out on top, straight up in the air. And it says, Rawhide of the 9. 20 gold pieces. Dead.
Okay. No option for alive, huh?
Nope.
Now, can I roll for a some sort of check to understand what this means? Does it mean that this is a very hostile person, or when it doesn't say alive?
You know that from... Roll a knowledge check off of this one, just as a general idea of the history of this.
It is a... Do I have history?
No,
Knowledge.
it's knowledge.
It's
It's this
knowledge.
one right here. That'd be a
Yeah.
2.
What?
It's a knowledge
Oh,
of
4.
3.
That's a 3. Sorry.
3. So
12.
9 plus 3, 12.
12? You get the idea that someone probably had a family member murdered by this person, so they want them dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright. I go ahead and tear that off.
Okay.
And it's reasonable to tear it off to keep, right?
Don't want nobody else going after your bounty.
It's true.
So,
Roll it up.
stick it in your vest or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. You step back outside. Sheriff stays asleep.
He's very tired.
He does not care. He can let people walk in and out of the jail all day. Prisoners too, as far as he cares.
Cool.
So, what are y'all gonna do?
I would like to go to the forest.
The forest?
Oh, this is something we meet up now.
There is no forest nearby. It's the open grasslands. Next forest is
Plant
like
life.
2 days walk away.
Plant life. Do I know any knowledge of any plant life nearby?
Sure, go ahead and roll a knowledge check with Yeah, I'd say go ahead and just roll a knowledge
So-
check.
Okay.
Do I my proficient stat, do I actually roll a d20 with that one? If I'm doing a knowledge roll?
Mhm.
Okay, good.
And do we also roll with advantage, or?
If you're burning proficiency points with it. So even if it's your proficient stat, you still have to burn a proficiency
Okay.
point to use the d20.
You just get advantage with
Yes.
proficiency. Okay.
When
If
dealing,
once you make a skill, then it's automatically a d20 for that skill.
Okay. Thank
For
you.
my strength, dealing with finding plants and knowledge of plants, do I still roll the 16?
Okay, so you
Go ahead and
are-
take a
what is your-
d20 for that one.
Okay. What's your class?
Nat 20?
Marksman.
Marksman? That's a
It's a what?
knowledge or dex?
It's a nat 20?
you heard me.
Okay.
First nat 20.
Got too many people asking me questions.
No, it's
There's
important.
not a lot around here. There's some field flowers that can make a decent tea, but not a lot in this general area. It's a lot of arid plain.
No aloe.
No, not around here. A little bit farther north, more. But the only other major thing that the plants are used for is the thick undergrowth of the grass can be used to be cut up and actually build houses with.
Okay.
Sod huts.
Okay.
So for ranger,
Mhm.
or sorry,
Marksman.
for marksman, what is his stat?
This is the one he chose. It's the proficient stat that he
Oh.
chose.
Okay, so you're proficient with charisma, so you get 7 points a day,
And I've used one.
and you've used one.
Yep.
And so I get 5 points a day.
Yep. So, matters how you disperse your points.
So, we've been paid. Do you want to look for a place to stay?
Yeah.
You planning on staying for a
I
day?
got nowhere else to go right now.
I'm going to check out a Lady Favors.
You have fun with that one.
You've only played 2 characters, but still, you always play a part.
Can't believe you ended up walking to the bank first thing. I didn't expect you to follow him in there, but sure. Sure.
Success.
Okay. So, you walk down the street. Brothels down at the end of town where it's mostly residents, a few saloons.
Dust off some of the dust off my scales and robe.
Okay. You, just head right in?
I'm gonna read the card one more time.
Okay. Go ahead, roll an observance check.
It'd be a 9.
9? It's pretty much the same business card I described to you earlier. Nothing a lot. Nothing.
Okay.
Just a way to leave something sitting on the table so someone will notice it.
Okay.
And think about it.
Okay. I head in.
Okay.
Do I see any signs?
No. This is an unmarked house,
Oh.
but you can tell. It's marked on the card. General description of where it is.
Smells funky.
It looks really, really nice inside.
Okay.
Of all the buildings that you've seen in, the inside of the bank, walking up and down the street, it's like night and day walking into this place. The walls are dyed canvas with textures on them, laid on top of plaster. All the wood is stained and varnished. Everything's polished. There's a few tables for sitting, drinking, playing cards. But there's no bar. There's one lady stands there, named Belina. Looks rather mature. Walks in. How's it going, dear? What could I do for you?
I heard you might be hiring.
Looks over behind you. You didn't see him before, but there's a young human male standing behind you. It's got a little short sword he's polishing, rubbing oil on. Looks over at you, says, "Who would you hear that?"
I didn't catch his name.
Describe
I was
him.
looking for work.
Describe him.
Charisma?
Insight? Is that what you're looking to do?
No, I was gonna lie to him.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay, so what are you going to lie to him with? Give me that first.
I believe it was a female with blonde hair.
Tiffany.
I just natted on a D16.
And okay.
So nats still count?
This one, it doesn't count as a nat 20,
Okay.
but it is the maximum this kid could have rolled.
It is a 21 still. I mean, my charisma's pretty high.
You gotta understand, this kid is the bouncer here. He takes his sword, slides it into his sheath, and walks up to you with a bit of a too much of a chest, puffed up, standing up straight for his age. And he says, "Now listen here, mate. I don't know what lady's sending you down here. Doesn't sound like any lady I know in this town. But you listen to me. You try to take my job, you're gonna have to watch your back. Now, unless you're here as a customer, I suggest you get out."
So is this the initiation? Is this how I get my job?
Melina looks at you, looks at Thomas and says, "He's a little daft, ain't he?"
How How well equipped does he look?
Roll an observance check.
Okay. 12.
12. He looks like he probably has a few tricks up his sleeve. He's a bouncer for a
Outmatch
brothel. He probably could. He could probably hold his toes against you. He's a bouncer for a brothel, and he looks like he's probably 14.
I mean, I'm 7.
Lizard folk to human, that's not very much difference.
How long do you live again?
80.
Okay.
So then you were not hired, correct? It was from a guy down the street. He gave me a card.
Let's see that. He snatches the card. He's like, that guy needs to learn how to communicate. He sent you down here as a customer.
I asked if you were hiring. He said yes.
That's your own fault, dude. He hands you the card back. He's like, here's your customer. I work here. The ladies work here. Unless you got petticoats hidden under them robes, I don't think you're gonna be working here.
Never heard of a gigolo.
Yeah, I was thinking, don't you got ladies in town who want some?
So there is no mayor. Oh, I see.
Do you think we're gonna have to run a business for the amount of men around here there are to women? In case you hadn't noticed walking through town, there's about 15 men to 1 woman in this town. It's a little off-balance ratio.
Oh,
That's why we have business. Now,
my bad.
yeah, you're bad. Now, unless you're planning on dropping some coin here, I suggest you turn around and head out.
What time you get off? You've got a tongue that's not quite as long.
Meet me at the saloon tonight, just down the street from the casino.
Time? Son?
4 a.m.
That's tomorrow.
Sorry.
Pulls his sword back out, pulls out his oil, goes back to rubbing his blade.
And I walk out.
Okay. Roll an observance check.
6.
I'm going to do my strength.
Which is...
Luck.
Oh, okay.
That's much better.
That's an awesome strength.
Gets to re-roll 3 times a day.
That's
18.
an awesome strength.
18? Okay. As you're leaving, you see a very pale, blonde-haired woman with wings. White wings. Just peeking through one of the doorways as you walk out.
Does she look scared?
Sorry.
With an 18, you really can't tell the door closes too soon. You just get a glance up.
What room?
It's an upstairs room. Far one on the left.
No number? And that was at 4 a.m. tomorrow.
Yep.
Got it.
Okay. So, lizard folk, done. Go back to you.
First I'm gonna go to. Okay, from my experience, could I get a bottle of vodka at the store, or would I have to go to the bar?
You'd probably have to go to the bar. General store's not going to have it.
Okay, I go to the bar.
Okay. Which one? There's the map.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, you're
It's
not
his
gonna-
turn.
It's my turn, dumbass.
There's a map. You can choose which one you go to.
Alright. Saloons?
Yeah.
Okay. I go to the Saloon and Inn.
The saloon and inn. Okay.
And so I just walked out of 5, so just straight across here.
Okay. Let's see here. Make a note here. 5, so you're going into...
10, right?
Saloon is 11.
Oh, sorry, 11.
So, 11, you just came out of the sheriff's office. You're heading... You can either go kitty corner across the street next to the mail office, or you can go up the street here, next to the windmill.
Just up the street.
Okay, up the street to the windmill.
Kitty corner?
Kitty corner.
It's catty corner.
It's kitty corner, and it's from it's the way we pronounce it in Minnesota.
Y'all are wrong. Okay.
Okay. So, this establishment is owned by Brooklyn Marquesia and is the Marquesia Inn and Saloon.
Okay. I walk up to the barkeep.
Okay. The barkeep is the owner, Brooklyn.
Okay.
It's there. He's a little bit better done up than, most saloon owners would be. He's got the white sleeves tied around to keep him from flopping around all over the place. Greased back hair. Human.
Should we describe our characters?
When we find each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, don't know what's up. Okay.
It's all that scotch last night.
The scotch is out of my system. It's been like 24 hours. Anyway, I ask, how much for a room tonight?
A room? 3 copper.
Give me a
Alright.
second, Joe.
And a bottle of vodka.
A bottle of vodka.
Yeah.
It's noon.
I'm not drinking it now, or I'd ask for a glass.
Alright. It's not exactly vodka, but local brewed. And it's pretty good proof. It's about the closest we can get. That'll run you a silver piece for a bottle.
Alright, 1 silver, 3 copper. I'll be back tonight for my room.
Your name?
Sam. Sam Tilly.
Reaches under the counter. Hands you a key. It's got a room number on it. It's room 5.
Okay.
As your
He's not doing that. Trevor's
fingers,
doing that.
as your fingers have a hard time grabbing the coins.
I'm short-circuiting.
Imagine if I had to keep track of all the currency for the entire town in bags and purses.
Oh God. Let's just have them have a communal bank. Alright, thank you.
All right. Thanks for your patronage.
And out of game, how many times could I fill up my my skin with that bottle?
It would barely fill it.
Okay, just once. I expected once.
It's a pretty heavy skin.
Alright. Then I'm going to head out and I'm going to go to is there a weapon shop nearby?
Let's see here. What does it say on the map?
Oh yeah, I have a map. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you have a map.
I keep forgetting. Blacksmith, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah, blacksmith would be the closest to a weapon shop.
Okay. No, I've got it written down here somewhere. There we go. You head in.
Okay, up there you are.
All right. You walk down the street, basically just down the street, and it's just off to the left a little bit.
Okay.
And it's the Flinthead Smith. And you walk in, hammering away on the anvil, and half an ingot sitting there being already chopped off, being worked into various tools and stuff upon request, is a long, white-bearded dwarf. Or short, white, long-bearded dwarf. There we go. This is, as best as you can tell, Mr. Flinthead.
So are there shelves or anything around? Or not shelves, sorry, what's it? I've forgotten the word. Something to hang something on.
Yeah, hooks for
Hooks with
weapons.
weapons and stuff?
Not really. But, he's sitting there on the anvil, brushes his nose, wipes his hands off in his beard, sets the thing off to the side. Howdy, stranger. What can I do for you?
I need a replacement. These things are getting kind of dull. And I pull out a dagger.
Let's see it. Takes it. And I could sharpen it for, 2 copper. Or if you really want to replace it, trade in 6 copper for a new one. I might have something here for you.
Okay.
He goes around the corner.
What's the conversion rate again?
It's still 10 copper to 10 to 10 to 10.
Okay.
Put this in the fridge.
Do I know of guns?
I'm sorry. Can I put this in the fridge?
He goes under the counter, pulls out a few knives. They're polished, they're clean. They definitely look, a little bit less dusty than yours, but nothing that you can see much of an improvement to yours. The most is the equivalent of a Bowie knife. It's a little bigger. It's almost equal to a short sword or dirk.
How much for that, the big one?
The big one. Silver piece for that one.
I have one more request for you.
Alright. Hands you the dirt, takes the knife.
Might be a bit unorthodox. You got any, let's say, small scrap metal?
I have
That
a
you
bit
do
here
on
and
cardboard?
there, but what per se for? Do you need it just to patch something, or do you need it?
A patch of chassis, stuff like that.
Let's see what I got. Goes back in the back, rustles around in a barrel for some scrap pieces, pulls out a few pieces. Looks like a couple pieces of iron, maybe a piece of steel. Most of them flat, elongated. Some of them got corners and stuff cut out of them. But for the most part, it's like 10 gauge, 13 gauge. Somewhat moderate thick.
Okay.
He wants the map.
Okay. Speak words. How much for enough to fill this? And I pull out a small sack. That holds maybe 2 pounds to 3 pounds. Just scrap metal.
Yeah, I'm not willing to part with much. I usually use this stuff for actual repairs around my shop. I'll give you these 3 pieces here for 9 copper.
That sounds fair.
Alright.
Oh, that was me.
Takes that. Bust out the bag for the change. Alright, you have 3 small sheets of scrap metal.
Alright, thank you. Thank you for business, sir.
Thank
I'll
you,
be heading out.
stranger.
The name's Sam.
Sam?
I might be around a bit more.
Chronic. Chronic Flinthead.
Nice to meet you, Chronic.
Aye. Off with you. And as you turn around, he's... Pumpkin! Get in here, boy! Shorter dwarf comes in. Up them bellows for me, and they get to work, heating up the forge again and working his metal.
Okay.
So. Go back around to Carl.
I'm going to the inn.
Okay. Which one are you going to? There is a hotel and 2 inns in town.
Now you can have the map.
We really need to make copies of this thing. I was not expecting that.
In here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hotel / restaurant number
Makes
1.
sense.
Okay.
Which is actually right across the street. Yeah.
Okay.
Quarter.
So you walk in. This is a very nice hotel. It's got white pillars, floral French pattern style on the walls, chandelier in the main office. Oh, you photographing the map?
genius scanner.
That is a great.
I'll send it to everyone. It'll come out really
This is
nice.
mine.
You seen that in the group chat?
As you walk in, there is a man in a nice bit of a butler's suit. What the heck? Is my music over? Okay. Yeah, the music was over. Give me a second. There we go. There we go. So, you go in. The receptionist is a male gnome. Walks around the counter and he says, "Good evening, sir. How can I help you?"
I'm looking for a room to stay.
I see. Looks at your boots. Muddy. Looks at your dusty coat and everything.
I'm thinking this is probably not the place for me.
He does give you a look. It's like, how many days would you like to stay? We talking a month? A couple months?
It's probably not that long. Maybe.
Well, this is a hotel. You typically, we book by the week. If you would like to stay overnight somewhere, I recommend one of the inns.
Okay.
Good day
Alright.
then. And you hear him as you're leaving. Twilight, and see another female fairy come fluttering into the room. She stands about 7-8 inches tall height, dressed like a housemaid. She's like, "Clean up that dust, please."
Yeah.
And she goes about cleaning.
Okay. That just depends on which inn I want to go to. Okay, nope, I'm going back to my picture. Because your picture, like, if I had it like this, it would be rotated.
Well, if
the
everybody else has pictures,
I'll
I'm taking
resend
the
it.
paper copy.
Mine and his
resend
are
Our phones
charging.
are charging.
Okay, fine.
Sorry.
right. You good?
I fixed it too.
You should have your. It should be sent to you too.
I'm running YouTube right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go to the one that's literally right across the street now. Again.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that one,
There, I resent it.
you're at the hotel.
Yeah.
Isn't that number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going literally right across the street to 11.
11. Okay.
Oh.
That's not the same one that the other guy went to. So
That is the one I went to.
See that looks better?
no, you went up the street.
Yeah, you went up the street.
You went north.
I went to 11.
There's 2 11s.
Oh.
They're coded to what the business is. There's multiples of a business.
Oh, I thought it was a specific place. Okay,
Nope.
never mind.
So you walk in.
Of course.
There is. That's a little loud in the background. Okay. You walk in. It's built like a comfortable saloon, but it also obviously has a hallway to the back with inns and an upstairs with rooms. A young woman,
I
probably.
thought there was like no women in this town.
There is like no women in this town, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
It's true. Okay.
There is a young woman, probably 17, 18 years old, behind the counter, cleaning up some dishes and whatnot from a lunch hour that just pretty much ended a little bit ago. And there's long tables set up, and she's also clearing off a number of those.
I walk up to the
I'm
counter
7.
and ask, how much is it
Oh,
for
my age.
per night?
What's my age again?
Oh,
When you mature.
I don't usually get people in this time of day for food, for a meal. She brushes off her hands on her apron and she opens up a book. Yes, I have a room. 2 copper for the night.
Okay.
Amongst all the American quarters.
I actually took it out.
Oh, there you go. Good for you.
Yeah, I was like, that's just gonna be annoying.
Okay.
We take turns paying for the room, right?
You went off to the brothel, so
You have a different kind of room.
I like the AC finally kicking in. All right. So, she says, checkouts in the morning about 9 a.m. Anything you need in the meantime?
Could use a bite.
Oh, can we save this for tomorrow?
Because I'm
4
pretty sure
o'clock?
my character's probably a little hungry.
No.
Oh,
The music.
The bag we have there.
You know, when I made the bet with you to, you know, you're gonna have to eat your hat if you lose.
And there was
I
a
d-
string hanging off. Oh, very nice.
Like the old bets back in the day when
Yes.
hats were made out of all leather and you actually could eat them.
Or you could make a shoe stew and live.
I'm poor.
What's happening tomorrow for? Oh, I thought you were in real life.
Not completely the greatest, but you know, I went with what I could. It's $144 to get all the purses and the coins.
The main cost was a purse. Purses.
Yeah, they were about $7 to $15 a piece.
Very, very nice.
Yeah. Anywho, she's I just have leftovers, just a little bit, but lunch was just ended.
Yeah, it took me a second to realize y'all were staring at me.
If you want it, otherwise, if you want to pay a little extra, I could make you something fresh.
Depending what's left over.
I have some stew and a bit of bread.
That's fine.
All right. It's a copper piece. And she brings out a bowl to the table, clears off a nice spot and a smaller table off to the side, brings you a bowl of stew and a plate with some bread on it.
Okay.
So you just sit there eating.
Yep.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm going up to my room.
Okay. So back to you then.
Well, I also mentioned to her if a lizard folk comes in, he's with me.
I see. Okay. All right then. Sharing a room or? I didn't get
Here,
you one with multiple
this-
beds.
This is end game at a game. This is our past. I don't sleep in a bed.
Okay.
So we usually split the cost of a room, or you
Okay.
pay for a night, then I pay for a night, you pay for a night. I sleep on the floor.
Okay. He's good.
Okay. All right then. I don't want to know.
He sleeps.
That's what they all say.
He's your roommate.
Mate.
So
Fine.
so you head up to your room.
Took a second.
Bam Bam. Back to you.
Yeah.
I actually go ahead and look for the inn as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for number 1, the inn and restaurant,
That's the hotel.
The hotel.
the hotel restaurant.
Okay.
Yes.
You have to pay by like the week.
The month.
You
Yeah.
would know that. You've lived adjacent to this town. The hotel is for wealthy people who actually, rather than owning a house, it's like the Old West. Yeah, it's
Right
the.
here. They're both in inns.
Okay, I'll do the north inn.
Okay.
2 for 2.
Okay. So you head up there. Just so everyone's clear, a hotel in the Old West was actually something akin to a condo, for the most part. You had a nice room, a washroom. You went downstairs. Breakfast was served daily. You know, you ate your meals communally. You had a dining room, and then you lived, worked in the town.
An inn was closer to a motel.
Yeah.
A one-night stay kind of thing.
One night stand. I mean, stay.
Well, yeah, I mean, sort of. Sometimes.
If you're a lucky dragonborn. Fix it. There we go. Okay. Stay. Okay. But you head up north, and you step into a little shop. On the facade it says the Marquisia. And you step in. It's got a saloon type feel to it, but it's also obviously an inn. So.
I go to the innkeeper and go ahead and would like to purchase a stay.
Okay. He's like, looks at you. He's like, Back from the mountains, Smith.
Yes, indeed.
You get anything good this time?
Not much, but you know, good, a good size amount.
Alright.
Good amount.
Alright. 4 copper.
Copper, as usual.
Yep.
Should be 4 coppers there.
Yep, it's good. Alright, hands you a key. Room 7. Will you be here long?
Probably might take 2 days actually. I will come up with the rest tomorrow, if that's
Alright,
okay
sounds
with
fair.
you. Room 7, you said.
But if you don't have your stuff out and you don't come back by noon, someone else can have the room.
Absolutely.
Alright. He goes back to polishing glasses.
I'm actually gonna go back down and ask the lady if she needs any hunting goods that I can help her with.
Okay, roll a charisma check.
Also, I'd like to look around as I'm walking around the town for the wanted district.
Okay.
That's
You
all
do
you
not see him. Even if you roll. I'll just say you don't.
Only roll a total of 4.
Yeah, you mention it to her and she's, I don't know, my mom's not back yet and, I can't imagine, we would need anything right off the bat. There's a pretty decent butcher in town. She gives us good deals.
Okay.
So,
Do you know where this butcher would be at?
just up the street.
Okay. I'll go to the butcher then.
Okay.
So if he needs any good. I am a hunter. I need to make some coin.
Okay.
It's his father.
Just playing.
Alright. So you head up the street to the butcher. It's right next to the general store, I believe, on the map. But it's an open stall. Actually, no. It's got an interior door. A lot of smoked goods hung up. Lots of hams. Lots of jerked meats. But they also do have a few fresh things. Lots of dried stuff sitting in the cold room downstairs. But you step in, and it just says butcher on the front. You step in, and it is a woman. She's an orc.
Okay.
Stands about 4 feet taller than you. Big, beefy woman. She throws down her cleaver into the cutting board. He's like, "All right, what can I do you for?"
I'm actually coming to ask if you get some fresh. I cannot speak.
Are you that burnt by the sun, dearie?
Are you interested in
She goes over,
any
stabs
goods?
a slice of sausage, slices off a chunk, and says, "Here, eat that. Wake yourself up a bit."
This is a nice sweet lady.
Well, let me start over. Are you interested in any goods I can get you?
Looks you over. Looks at the bow. Says, "If you can get something and bring it back fresh, I mean, I won't turn down fresh meat. Usually sells pretty quick."
Anything in particular that you might want? Or you just anything?
Well, not easy to bring down, but if you can bring down a buffalo, those are always appreciated, but they're a heck of a problem to bring in. Might want to bring a cart and some men with you.
I got a fella.
All right. Well, I'll be waiting.
Thank you.
And make sure you get some water to wash that down. It's salty.
Okay.
So, you step back outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay. Before I leave the inn, the brothel.
Mhm.
I showed them my license.
Maybe you were staying in the same
Just
place.
letting you know, I am licensed. Are you?
We'll say for the fact that we did already have you step out the doors, I'm not going to go through that.
Okay.
So, you did step out through the doors. You could step back in, but it's up to you.
Okay. I go to 19.
Okay.
No, not 19. I'm already at 19. I'm going to the doctor,
Okay.
which is
Right across the street.
Yeah.
Okay. You step in.
I bring out my.
Here for the chlamydia.
I did not purposely put him right across the street from there, but
Have penicillin.
it works, I guess.
I've got my doctor bag.
Okay.
Actually, I'm using my tail to hold the bag.
You have a doctor's bag?
I have a health kit.
Okay, that would be something, like a bundle
Oh, okay.
kept in your satchel. It's not
Oh, okay.
not something it's a
Big
it's
plus.
a consumable. It's a consumable
Okay,
inside
gotcha.
a pack.
Gotcha.
It's like carrying a bandage pack.
It's like a first aid kit.
Yeah.
I go into the doctor.
Okay. You go up to
Doctor?
the door.
Nurse.
Door's locked. There's a sign that says "Out for calls, back by 3."
What time is it?
About 12:15.
Okay. I will look around to see if there's anybody being mischievous. Either pickpockets.
Okay. As you just walk down the street, looking for stuff
Kind
going
of
on.
get a feel for the area too.
Okay.
So.
You're walking down the street looking for sketchy people. You are coming out of the butcher shop. You went to your room.
Nope. I didn't. I was gonna go to the barkeep.
Okay, so you stepped back downstairs to the barkeep.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was upstairs for the.
He never went upstairs.
Okay,
Just
so
bought the room.
you're just staying at the counter then?
Yes. And I was gonna order a drink.
Okay.
I
I thought you were looking out for Calvera.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I just left the blacksmith.
Okay, so you're walking from the blacksmith, you're walking out of the butcher, you're walking down the street. A few of the guys, they stop eating. They see a couple people walking down the boardwalk in the same direction. They take notice. Seems like there's something going on in town.
Bunch of new people.
Do you pay attention?
I do.
Okay.
And I kind of trail behind.
In a small town, some kind of action,
New people.
new people, something happened, spreads pretty quick in a small town like this. You come out of the
I believe
blacksmiths. Pardon. And let me see here. I have to double check my map.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
And it's actually about just across the street from you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did have to just go across the street to go to the blacksmith.
It's at the carpenter's shop. You see a man standing next to a hearse. The equivalent of a nice hearse. Okay. It's not entirely super fancy hearse, but it's not just a wooden cart. And there's a businessman standing there, and there seems to be some kind of mild argument going on. People are gathering around, leaning on buildings, watching from leaning out windows and watching. You all end up slowly gathering around.
I'll finally get them together. Oh my
And
God.
he let's see. Wanted to wait for Trevor, but we'll continue going, I guess. He's everybody
You look strong, don't you?
Dragonborn,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
bulky lizard man, bigger, bulkier than this lizard man.
My bad, what I miss?
Not much. I was trying to wait for you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So, a lot of people walking down the street congregating at least at a couple 100 feet distance to listen in to this bit of an argument between some type of businessman and the Undertaker, also carpenter. And he's like, listen, man, I'm sorry, the funeral's off, okay? I just can't do it. And there's just too many people. And he's like, wait. You're telling me the funeral's off? Yesterday, I come through here, and I'm walking down the street, minding my own business, and a man drops dead right in front of me. And for the next 2 hours, I see men walking by him and stepping over top of him, and no one bats an eye. So I come over here, I pay for the coffin, I pay for the hearse, I pay for the funeral. I mean, I drop 5 silver coins on this, and you tell me you can't bury this man. He's like, no one will have him in Boot Hill. No one likes these folks. If you get anyone to drive that hearse, they're gonna get shot up. And he's like, what? You're telling me? And this argument just continues going back and forth. It's getting nowhere. You get a general sense that there is some racist, ill intent towards burying the person who died on Boot Hill.
I'm gonna walk up. How far are we from it?
30, 40 feet. I mean, you're hearing distance. You can walk up.
I'm gonna walk up to him. I have my when I'm in town, I have my mask on my side, not on, and I say, "This man, why won't you have him buried? It seems the honorable way to do things."
He's a bloody savage, and there's too many people around here that don't like them. Wild folk live in the hills, wander around, steal what they can, barter for what they can. There's some people that just don't like him, don't want him buried there.
Savage. Is this a cult?
The grass folk.
I'm new around here.
Obviously. They just don't like him. They raid our wagon trains, they steal our women, they steal our cattle, they take our tools, and then they run back off into the grass and disappear.
What was this one doing in town then?
So
We don't shoot them on sight, but he was in town doing trading. Most people knew him. Most got along with him. He knew what to avoid and who to avoid. Just dropped dead.
Can I do an inspection on him? Not an inspection, but visually look for bullet holes.
The casket is sealed, and it's in the back of the hearse.
Okay.
They were literally ready to drive it down the street to the funeral to bury the guy.
What if I were to offer to do the burial?
Well, it's not so much the burial, it's getting him into Boot Hill that's the problem. If you're willing to take this and drive it up the street, be my guest.
I'd be willing.
I walk up to the guy. I am in need of a cart.
And now listen here, buddy. This cart cost me over 1,000 gold pieces. I'm not about to let you take my cart. Don't even think it.
I step out,
I guess you won't have a driver then.
setting my my license out as bodyguard.
Mhm.
I can help as well.
Fine. But I don't want... I'm charging you for any damages to my cart. I swear it. If I come back with any arrows or carpentry work I have to done, I'm charging you for it.
Arrows.
Who are we up against?
The town.
No,
They haven't... You haven't said anything.
I haven't.
No, they have... He hasn't said, There's a general feel. There's a feel from certain people in the town.
Is there a
But they
group
haven't.
waiting by the graveyard to attack us?
I don't know of anyone that's standing up there right now.
Let's take him right now.
Alright, so you got up into the wagon?
I'm going to
Oh boy.
Alright. Yeah. I guess we hop in.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, there's enough space up the front for 2 people. One person
Can I
could...
stay on top of the wagon?
Sure. Roll a dexterity check to get up there without breaking it.
Okay, I am using a...
Proficiency point.
Yeah. That is a 16 plus 6, so that's a
22. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you get up tight. Your dexterity, you're good.
You drive
Sitting
one
on
of
top.
I have general writing. Would that
Writing?
help?
Not really. Just both of you go ahead and roll an animal handling check to see who can befriend the horse the best. It's not too bad. Driving a cart.
And how many times do you successfully
Just-
to make it a skill?
5.
Oh, I thought we
Just
changed.
Humans. Is there any humans in our group? No humans in our group.
I'm.
No, you're not. You're not off of the sheet. You do not get the human traits.
Oh, okay.
Humans can make a skill at 4 successes.
Okay.
That is one of the big buffs to human.
I don't know. It's not mine, so I thought it was yours.
What is it?
It is.
Oh, no, I think it came out of this thing when you
Oh.
pulled
No.
your bag.
Okay.
Okay.
For being colorblind, that's
Okay.
pretty close.
Do I add charisma to this?
It's the same exact color.
Well, no, it's a
for the
20 and this
horses?
has a-
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah, use charisma.
21.
21? Yeah, you're able to lead the horses just fine. You drive it down the street. You're not driving fast. It's just a general trot.
Okay. Perception.
Sure.
Same.
Perception from all people driving.
I'm about to say observance, and
I
I'm
was gonna say,
using
as this
another
is going
point.
on, I step up and say I could be of assistance as well if you guys need a gunner.
Okay. While you're riding down the street, you see a dragonborn approaching.
Okay. That's actually cool.
And, so
I'm actually gonna probably just haul out like, hey,
hop on.
yeah.
Okay. Roll a dexterity check to hop onto the roof of the carriage.
I rolled a 15 on
Plus
well,
your deck. So.
18 on
Should
observance,
be 13, 14 altogether.
and I'm
Nope.
using.
It's a 4, 7, 9, 10,
So
11.
11. You want a person?
Just barely. Just barely. You're
Yeah,
fine. It's
okay.
creaking underneath of you. It's not intended to be ridden on top of, especially by 2 people, but
I got a 15 for my observance.
okay.
18 on observance.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's a success. I did burn a proficiency.
A
on that.
proficiency points to what are you doing specifically? When you burn a proficiency, you're looking for something specific.
Okay, you just told me roll for
Okay, we're looking for people that want to kill us.
pretty much.
Okay, so you're looking for hostile people. Okay. Look, searching for hostile. Write that down for being your. You can't just use the observance all the time and automatically use
Okay.
it as a skill. It's got to be specific for skills. But you slowly walk down the street. It's riding. A lot of people are watching. A lot of people are quiet. The entire town is pretty quiet. There is.
I have my Bowie knife out and I'm kind of tapping it against my hand.
Say I have my Winchester out and ready.
Okay.
Shields
I'm
out.
ready.
One in the chamber.
You're driving.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Shields.
Oh, on your arm. Okay.
Okay. While you're walking along, while you're riding along the boardwalk, it appears to be a young, shorter halfling. Walking along, he has light hand crossbow at his hip, and he's just walking. He seems interested. He likes to watch. He's fascinated by all these cool, rough and tumble people driving this carriage down the street bravely in face of all this adversity. The silence on the town is almost palpable.
Can I roll for intimidation to try and just scare people in general around me? Just look as scary as possible.
Sure, go ahead.
And I want to roll burn a proficiency point.
Do you have intimidation as a proficient stat?
Okay. You're confusing me on this. I have deception and barter and haggle.
No, that would not fall under skill, so that's just a straight D16.
You're very
Well,
confusing.
he's trying to make it a skill.
I'm trying to make it a skill.
If you're not proficient with charisma, then it doesn't fall under the skills of being intimidating to someone.
Okay. So, 16?
16? You're pretty darn intimidating. That's definitely a success for that, but it's pretty darn good. People are trying to avert their gaze. They don't they don't want to look at you.
I really don't like racists.
Yeah. Well, you get about to the end of town, and before you get to the end of town, there's one double-storied, just house residence. There's a window open. Who rolled the highest perception?
I rolled 18.
18?
I actually didn't roll perception.
Go ahead and
Okay,
roll
go ahead and roll
Roll
an
on.
observance. Yeah.
on D16.
Unless you roll with.
So that plus your observance.
Observance is 8, so 7 and 8, that's
15.
15.
15?
Me
And you
him got
rolled
15.
18.
18. You do see a window that has been opened, and the curtains are blowing in the breeze, and you see a figure standing in that window.
You have a shield.
You also know I'm pretty good at guarding.
I tell you, watch that window.
Okay.
Something might be coming out of it.
I initiate bodyguard.
Do I hear this?
Okay, so you're gonna try to shield from any
From-
ranged shot.
Correct.
Do I
Okay.
hear this?
Is that an ability to like shield anybody?
Well, I'd
around
say
you?
All right, so roll a proficient, burn a proficient point, or roll a d16 with your proficiency to shield someone.
I get to roll a d20.
'Cause I don't want to just shoot it
Yes.
in there just in case it's a civilian.
To
Just so you
prepare
rifle
to
the-
shield.
to be prepared.
This would be what the stat is built on.
I need a marker, please.
Markiplier.
I do kind of
Okay.
tighten
So,
up my bow a little bit.
out of game, would it be kind of against the law to aim a rifle at someone?
Luck.
No.
Yeah, but
You're out in the wild.
Okay. I aim
The
my
sheriff's
rifle.
probably half asleep right now. It's gonna be anyone else's word against yours.
I'm gonna prepare my bow up at the window though.
Okay,
I aim
16
the rifle.
plus what?
Do I use my defense with
Uh,
bodyguard?
yeah.
Okay.
You're trying to take and absorb a shot for somebody else.
24.
24. Good roll. All right.
Plus 1 because I'm holding a shield.
You see, as your shield is kind of repositioned and everyone starts looking at the window, you see a figure put down a crossbow and lean back.
What a very scary group.
Yeah. He did not like that. He wasn't going to risk it, especially when he had a gun pointed at him. So you continue on. You go up the hill, out past the doctor's office. You get up to the top of Boot Hill, and 4 men, crossbows, blades, daggers, standing in front of Boot Hill's gate.
I put my hand up, say, pull up, let's get off.
And
I
one
get
of
it out
them,
the way, and as we go, I'm like, I hope y'all can intimidate well.
one of them steps forward and he said, "Get that wagon back
So
down
I
the
can't
hill."
make a skill out of the intimidate.
Not the way your character's built.
Okay.
Can I haggle?
What?
Will that work?
You do have intimidation as your race. It's down in your racial traits.
Oh wait, we have our elemental stuff.
You do. What
And
element are
one of
you?
mine on fire, but I have
So
intimidation.
yes, you do have the
so
proficiency
I
with.
can
You
mark
got to
it.
remember that in your proficiency.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yes, you
Forgot
do
about
have
my
fiery presence.
Bonus.
Okay.
Yes.
So 1 for intimidation. General intimidating
Yes.
aura, I guess.
It is specifically for flirtation, intimidation, and one other. It's in the list. I'll get it for you later.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and burn a point.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and intimidate.
Can we do a group intimidate?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
1 second.
Now, wait a minute. Would I have to? Oh yeah, it would go against what?
Their
Charisma.
charisma.
It's a charisma.
So my charisma plus a d20.
Heck yeah.
Plus, if you're
16.
proficient in charisma,
Okay.
Yep, 7.
then you
I
roll
don't
a
have any
d4
potions,
as well.
do I?
A d4 as well.
Yes.
Mm,
And you add that as
you
well.
have 3 fire potions.
Okay, good. Let me actually.
Okay, so 15, 16 plus your charisma,
Should I
which is
roll
7.
for those right
So
now?
you got a 25.
Um,
you are fucking terrifying.
yeah, just roll for them now.
D20.
That is a
16.
If you're burning proficiency points for each of them,
Okay, and
If
I'm
you
gonna
would have
burn
otherwise
another
a
proficiency
D16.
Point
I'll just
to
go
do the same
D16
intimidating
for
aura.
now.
So that
That was a
plus
13.
8, so
that is a 25.
25,
15.
15,
16.
16, and
What
are
were we
you
rolling?
intimidation? Are you gonna try to intimidate them?
Yeah, hold on.
Am I standing in the middle?
They know you.
Oh.
Okay, so that's 2.
Oh, do I add my knowledge to those?
Yes.
Gosh dang it. Well, good, but
Just hit a plus and then what your knowledge stat is.
okay.
Because you're proficient in charisma, anytime you roll for charisma, you add a d4.
Okay.
I'm
That's
not gonna
still the
burn
rule,
it.
right?
Yep.
It's just-
16 plus a d4, we upgrade it to a d20.
It's only a 4 on my.
No.
Now, since he has double proficiency, he gets a d20 and he gets a
Yeah,
d4.
okay.
So whenever you try to intimidate, even if you don't burn a proficiency point, you get a d20. Because
so
it's part of
can
your
I-
racial traits.
Can I not?
Well,
burn
you
that?
get a bonus.
So,
You get the extra D4.
Yeah.
When you do.
When I do burn
spend.
the point?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
so you would get a d4 and a d20 when you burn a point.
Okay.
So.
Well, I've already burned it, so I'm not taking it back.
It's good. Did you roll intimidation?
Yeah, I only got
Plus
a
you
4.
rolled the d4.
Four? The very fair
16.
looking
That's
I do
bow
have one of
wielding
my-
elf does not look intimidating at all.
And
What was your
so-
roll?
A 4.
Oh god, you're just like. what
Um,
did you get?
16.
Okay,
there's
15.
the guy says
I'm
get
gonna
that
wrap
buggy
my vial
back
around
down
with
the hill.
One of my arrows and have it ready.
Okay.
I still got.
I would say you have it already equipped
Okay.
to one of your arrows.
Okay.
And if that's the arrow that you have chosen, that's just declare it.
Then yeah.
Okay. So he did say turn that buggy around and get it back down the hill. And then you guys rolled your intimidation.
And he was scary as shit.
One of them looks a little skittish, but the other ones seem a little resolute and they're kind of itching on their trigger fingers.
I'm gonna say, don't make us fight, boys. You know you're not gonna win. And roll.
Say lay down your weapons, move aside.
I kind of lean over. What do they have?
Crossbows.
Oh.
2 crossbows, 1 guy with daggers.
Okay.
One
You
guy
said
with a
trigger
sword.
finger, and I'm like, kind of trigger. Okay, crossbows. Good to know.
Say lay down your weapons, move aside. We have business to attend.
Okay. Roll a persuasion. And I believe... Give me 1 second. I believe persuasion is part of fire.
I remember, yeah.
So would this count towards haggle and barter?
No.
Trying
No.
to end a fight without fighting?
I
Nope.
tried.
That is not haggle. That
Tried
is...
that.
Haggling and bartering is prices and trade.
Trading their lives.
Technicalities, I'm going to say no.
I'm just playing.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you this bullet if you die.
Alright, so...
I'm gonna burn a proficiency point.
Fire also has persuasion. So yes, anyone with the fire stat
Okay.
may also
Okay.
burn a point for persuasion.
Okay, one more burn. Come on, baby. Fuck. So that's a 12.
Okay.
In charisma, that's an 18.
18.
12.
No.
Did you burn a point?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
12 for me.
What are we rolling for now?
Persuasion.
Oh wait, no, I got a 13. Sorry, not a 12.
Oh, I could have rolled a d20, huh?
You did roll a d20. didn't
All
you?
right, so the
No,
one
roll again.
the one that was looking really skittish
Roll
with the
the d20.
sword,
Well, okay.
he turns around and he walks away. The other one that with the daggers, he starts to get to look skittish, but the 2 others standing in the middle, especially the one that spoke, he's still standing resolute.
Does
I would
that
like
count
everyone to
as a
roll
success?
initiative.
Are we still rolling?
It does,
16s
yes.
for
Okay.
initiative or?
One
Yes,
more.
D16s for initiative.
I use leadership,
Okay.
and I say 2 arms.
Okay. So
And
okay.
I
So
start moving forward.
all right. So what are you trying to do with your leadership?
I am trying to gather them behind me
Okay.
in a formation.
Okay. So encouraging. Are you trying to give an advantage on initiative? Or are you trying to give them?
Advantage on not getting hit.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
dex.
So increasing their dex ability. Okay. Go ahead and roll a d16. Add your charisma.
Are you burning a point?
Unless you're burning a point,
Well,
at which point
my
you would use a 20.
defense is my
Leadership is based off of
charisma.
charisma.
Yeah, I'll burn a point.
Okay, so
Are you asking all of us to get in line?
Not in a
So,
line per se, but
Get
he's
behind?
encouraging you as a leader.
form up, basically.
If I spend a point,
Roll a
I
d20.
Yeah. Nat 20.
Oh fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone
listen.
everyone gets advantage on their next dex. So everyone go ahead and roll initiative.
What do you have?
There.
Got 12.
12.
7.
Okay.
10.
10.
Roll it up, and 12.
12.
Oh,
Okay.
we roll a d12?
Yep.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
no, the D16.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Yeah, we're using the D16.
Okay, yeah. So I got a 12.
15.
15? Okay, you get to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really impressive. Just like, okay.
Who looks like the...
The one guy that has been talking, the one who said get down the hill, he's holding a crossbow.
How far?
20 feet?
20 feet. Okay, agility is 5. So I
Yeah,
can reach
you
him.
can get right up in
I
his
get
face.
right up on him.
Okay.
Tail attack. I go for a trip.
Okay. Roll an agility check.
18.
Nice.
18. Lethal 1. He falls down, his crossbow goes off, and it shoots through his arm.
And then as he's on the ground, I rake him.
Okay. Roll for a second attack.
He's prone.
He's prone. You do get a D4 on top.
It's probably still not enough.
Plus your...
So that'd be 10.
10. Okay. 4. Yeah. Yeah. Scrapes right down the middle of his back. Go ahead and roll damage for both hits.
Okay.
Did
What do
the
I
crossbow
use?
do damage?
Yeah. That's what I'm having him roll damage
okay.
for.
Do I roll as 20?
Roll a D16.
Okay.
It's gonna help with the lack of hit points overall.
Okay.
It's gonna help people not
yeah,
get killed
I
as
always
fast.
thought that
7.
we did too much damage for the amount of hit points people
7.
have.
7.
Mhm.
Okay, for the first hit.
Yep.
The second hit. Roll twice since it's both claws.
14.
21.
Strength. So 13. 7
plus 7 is 14 plus 6. Okay, 20. Now roll one more time.
Holy
Max
fuck.
damage.
So that's 22...
Okay. Alright, so total of 32?
No, total of 43.
43? Okay. He's not looking good.
Yeah.
I'll go negative and I just his head.
My god.
Okay.
Delicious.
Technically speaking, you were already negative. And you forgot to roll your... Who has fire?
I have fire.
You have fire. When you start your turn, so you get to roll a d4. And you get to... If you roll evens, you get an extra action point at the beginning of your turns.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
I
my
go
favorite thing.
-2.
Okay, so you're -2. Go ahead and roll another attack with d4 advantage.
Oh yeah, because moving counts as an action, right?
So that'd be 12.
Actually, hold a second.
Yep.
Movement does count as an action. You've attacked twice, so
So I
no, you
cannot.
don't get another attack.
Okay.
So that's it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
From him, the guy is down.
He is down.
He was next in line.
Huh.
So he rolls strength to get out. Yeah, he go ahead and roll strength to hold, I guess.
Okay.
You didn't technically grapple him, you just knocked him
I
down.
don't think he's getting out.
That's a
14,
20.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Dirty.
20? Okay. Let me
Let's-
double check his...
As he tries to get up, kind of just my tail.
Yeah, no, you just put one claw on his forehead. Like,
Technically speaking, you didn't have him grappled, so I'm giving him advantage with it.
Okay.
Um,
He's rolling with a 16.
Now, advantage, does that mean rolling twice, or does it mean...
oh,
D4.
actually, no. I'm adding his. I'm adding a D4 onto it. Thank you for reminding me of that. And I'm missing a dice. No.
Okay. He wants his magic dice.
I think it's in here.
It's his killer.
I'm trying to be nice to the DM today.
There it is.
I'm trying to make my character last a little longer this time around.
Yeah, he just barely gets out,
Salad
and he
powder.
scoots. He's running. He's gone.
You made my
He's
mouth
holding
work.
his arm with his crossbow bolt. He's gone.
Oh, it's
As he
flinching.
leaves, I know this.
Is attack of opportunity a thing?
As a reaction, you could go negative once again, I would say, if you really want to kill the guy.
I do.
Okay.
I feel like if I kill the leader, usually they disperse.
Okay, go
I think
ahead
three
and
of us have a really big racist
go ahead and roll for
problem.
an attack.
I don't know what elves are seen as.
Or should I go first? They're both +6s. How bloody is he?
Very.
Okay, yeah, I'll just. I'll use my last luck point.
Yep.
Luck is an awesome skill.
Hey, he's already burned it.
Yep.
All 3 of them.
Oh no, but it's still awesome.
All
It's a
right.
feat in D&D.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be 11.
Nope, he gets out. He's gone.
Is he using agility?
No, he's using dexterity. He rolled a 21. His dex stat is 8. He's gone. And at that, pretty much everyone else uses their reactions. They scatter.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him. Can I actually
Don't let me see your asses again.
Can I take a shot?
Yeah, but
You can if you want to shoot him in the back.
No, no.
I think we
I
both
grab
do.
your arm. We don't want to be those.
You know these guys too. The town knows you.
Okay.
So.
He's probably gonna bleed.
I
out
kind of
anyway.
just roar
Okay.
in their direction.
Yeah.
And
More
I
of a hissing raptor roar.
correct.
Yeah.
And I swander over, back to the cart. Let's go.
Alright.
Just for aesthetics, I'd like to blow fire.
Okay.
Out of release of anger. Not anger, but
Okay. Just a release of tension.
yes.
Okay.
Were you gonna fight me on the don't do it?
No.
Okay.
All right. Well, there's a few of the townsfolk come up that were obvious supporters of this guy being buried, but weren't going to stand out and put themselves in danger. But they help unload the coffin. Hole's already been dug, and they end up having the funeral.
I help.
I helped.
And it's
Bring
up
the
to,
bed.
yeah, no, it's other people end up
Oh.
hauling it in.
Okay.
It's your job to actually bring the hearse back. So, but you drive the hearse back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I lean down
During-
after the funeral.
During the funeral,
Okay.
I take the horse back.
Okay.
After everybody leaves, I'm gonna pat the grave and say, "Rest good, buddy," and then leave.
Okay. So, you all get back to the carpenter's shop. The guy is completely astounded that there's not a scratch on the thing. He's very relieved by it.
You're a little bitch.
Roll a charisma check.
So that's a
Dang.
25.
Even the DM. Oof.
Yeah, well, it's a 15 plus a 2, so yeah, he's
So that's I get one more, and I have intimidating aura. That's what I was going for, by the way. I'm
Okay.
trying to scare him.
but he's backs down. He's like, let me get you some coin, gentlemen.
No, I want to hear it. Admit you're a little bitch.
Oh!
Oh.
Roll a charisma check with disadvantage on that one.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, come on. Okay, so it's 20 minus 1, so that's 19.
He gives you an evil glare, and when he's paying you out, he gives you 1 copper piece. Everybody else gets 2.
Does he admit he's a little bitch?
No.
only 2 copper.
2 copper. All you did was drive across town.
What did he roll? I want to know how
21.
much I lost to.
21.
Yeah.
Can I get introductions?
Can I get
not introductions, but visuals?
Yeah, you go ahead and introduce yourselves. You guys just went through, your first little mission together.
Do you still have that picture of your character?
We'll get to it.
The clothes you were saying your character wears? You had it on your phone last session. Don't look at me like that. You did.
Just go ahead and describe your characters verbally.
Fucking hell, man.
We're moving right along tonight, at least. We're doing a good job. It's only 8:56, so we
I
got
don't
another.
think I have ever
Got about an hour
from
left.
this character. I don't think
You
so.
just said what your character was wearing.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you
Other
did.
than a bow.
No, he did never just.
He showed
he
me
described-
a picture and said, "This is what my character looks like," and I said, "Mine looks similar to that."
I just
Okay.
did.
Well-
no, this was weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Go ahead and describe your characters.
Tell me. We'll start with me.
Yeah.
I am a Dragonborn, obviously, and I showed you guys the picture. The only
Oh wait, I
difference,
rolled the wrong one.
The only difference in the picture
I still
is
failed.
that I'm wearing a hat.
Yeah, it's a red dragonborn, I presume, right?
Yeah, it's red.
Yeah.
Can I, for aesthetics, can I have the fur fireproof?
Yeah,
Of
you
scales?
are fireproof. Yes, you don't have scales. You don't have
Fur?
anti-slashing scales. You have fireproof.
Okay, cool.
So
And the tail is that thin, not this lizard thick.
it is a little thicker,
Okay.
but it's not that thin. But it is thicker.
All right,
So
perfect.
um,
I also carry a rifle and a 6 shooter, right?
yep, and it is a gold-plated rifle. You did find some gold once upon a time, and you decided to go ahead and make your prized weapon look really nice. It's octagon barrel, Winchester 9-round, lever action.
Tube action or tube magazine.
Tube magazine, lever action.
Cool.
So
So it's the one you just.
yep, good old PUBG Winchester.
Nice. All right. Cool.
So that's you.
All right.
Who's next?
I'll go with just, sorry to make things so confusing, but I couldn't find the right
Oh
clothes.
no, it was you! You showed me the picture. That's the picture.
Yes, Trevor's confusion is
So,
finally revealed.
The clothes are like this without the hood. Without the hood.
Okay.
Go ahead and describe it for our viewers as well.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Are
I
you a
can't...
female?
That's
No.
the important part.
I said just the clothes.
That looks like female clothes, but okay.
Oh, fuck off.
I know, right?
Anyway, so go ahead and describe verbally your character, please.
Alright. Kind of sand-like scales run over what all you can really see is my tail and my face. My tail is very thick. And it seems to move almost like it's mind of its own.
Now you're
Like-
saying sand-like scales. Are you talking about color or texture?
Both.
Okay, so you're tannish.
Correct.
Okay.
Like every now and then, the tail would like draw like in the sand or in the dirt.
Do you have any kind of elemental connection?
All of us have an element.
What is yours?
Correct. You would
Just out of
know.
curiosity.
No, that's something
Yeah,
you
you
have
wouldn't
to,
know by looking.
You have to
Oh,
be
okay.
told that.
We're just going over visual, what to imagine when you talk about the character. Look at it.
I'm pretty beefy. I got a wooden shield on my hand. I have a net, kind of cross as well. Nice bag that I keep all my stuff in.
Okay. Like a man purse?
More satchel.
More like a satchel.
The cross satchel or is that? Okay.
Yeah.
Like the old half saddle bag.
All right.
Trevor, I know Carl hates being, talkative.
Why do you look so terrified all the time tonight? I want to punch you
Hey,
just so
there's
you have a
no
reason to be
caves
terrified.
tonight.
It's because
And then the ground opens up and we fall into
Cave.
This isn't a cave.
Yeah.
This is a cavern.
No, okay. I'm similar clothing to him, except I don't have the duster. I just have a cloak around me, no sleeves or anything. I have a wooden mask hooked to my side. My face, I have softer features. I'm a little on the thinner side, and I have slightly tan skin and brown hair, and I look like a normal human.
Okay. Well, this is the closest picture I could find about what would be my character.
Okay.
Just I have a short bow as my main weapon. You probably would see I have a satchel for supplies, vials, potions, and pointy ears, I guess.
And I have a satchel
Tears.
similar to him but bigger.
Oh yeah, the
Holes.
tears in my ears from when they removed my
Which
earrings.
we don't know.
We don't.
Yeah,
But
I
you
know
would
this
see the
here.
tears in the ears.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't think we know like the.
Lore of elves. Everyone who's not Carl, roll knowledge checks.
And I have that, so I have a 20.
That's not Carl.
Nat 16.
15? No, yeah, 16.
21 is my total.
12.
12. That's all well enough. Elves have been around for more than most races. It is a standard tradition among elvish races, being that the ears pretty much don't stop growing gradually throughout life. They are decorated with an earring every 100 years old. Also, a banished elf has their earrings ripped out, and he has 2 notches in his ear where rings have obviously been torn out. So, you would know enough of that to be able to read that.
All of us, or?
Do I know anything specific?
No.
Okay.
Not unless he's
If
told
you
you.
technically already know this, I would have told you.
Right.
Tragic backstory.
So, what do you do now? You made a little bit of money.
Not a lot.
Have I seen anybody that looks like the guy in the poster?
Nope.
Okay.
He was the guy that left. No. That ran away.
Do you say anything
No.
in character? Okay.
I do. That was a good fight. Good job.
Yep, good job.
You just beat the shit out of a guy.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm kind of going that
Thanks,
route.
Hancock.
Thank you.
You almost ate that guy. Nice.
And I'm kind of like my tongue out. It's kind of just like licking a tooth.
I do want to.
And by the way, when I say nice, it sounds like something's grinding together in my throat.
I want to go to the guy who wanted the guy buried.
He actually comes up to you guys. Just as you were saying that, I was waiting for an option to jump in. The guy, he's dressed like a businessman. He comes up, and he's like, dang, that was impressive as heck. I'll buy you guys a drink. Here. Pops open his own little personal bottle that he keeps in his flask and hands it around to you guys.
But I do want to ask you, you know anywhere I can get me
I take a swig just immediately.
a cheap cart?
Well,
Something that could hold quite a bit of meat.
I might be able to find it. You looking to buy, or you looking to rent, or?
I'd like to buy a cart. I'd like to keep it around, help us travel.
Roll a charisma check.
Can I help?
Sure, I suppose, yeah.
We going hunting.
Can I help?
Well,
Can I help?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
17.
15 plus my charisma.
Yeah.
23.
are you burning points every time you do that?
No,
So I was
that's a
looking for
that's a D16.
silver instead of lead.
Oh, you rolled.
I
By
rolled
the way.
this
Okay.
one. I got a 23.
When I talked to the smith.
You said lead.
Yeah. Do you think lead would be
In this
easier to
time
find?
period, lead would be what's used to make bullets.
Yeah, lead is what you would make your bullets with, not silver.
Right. It's not widely found? Lead?
It's not something that's readily on hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that's been used a lot. Because ammunition is a new thing. You have invented your own weapon. People in town know you for that weapon.
Okay.
So charisma for me was 17.
17,
23.
23, 12. The elf is the one that rolls the lowest, but it was a natural 3 and a 3 on his part. So he's like, I'll tell you what. I was planning to stay in town. I brought my own car. I was going to sell it off. Tell you what, I'll give you guys a deal on it. 100 silver pieces. It's yours.
How long would you willing to keep this deal waiting? All of us together probably can't put that much together right at this moment.
Most definitely not.
Because if we can get a buffalo, I'm gonna actually say this. I got an offer up. If I can get some buffalo, I can get.
I got a bounty I'm hunting.
You're going buffalo hunting.
Yeah.
Knock 20 pieces off of it if you take me with you.
Alright.
Barter.
All the help I can get.
Sure, go ahead.
Nice.
So I would use the red one?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay. And plus the D4?
No, okay, so if you're burning a point, you get
You erased it.
you get the extra. Oh, I'm sorry.
You get your
It comes
Um,
at 5.
you use
If
a
you
D20.
if you burn one, you get the extra D4. At the moment, you just roll a D20 because
Okay.
you're double proficient in this.
That's a natural 1.
Right.
Yeah, so he's not really paying attention to you. He's having the conversation with these other 3. But,
10.
yeah, so you have an open offer of about
Marker.
80 silver
Marker,
pieces.
Hey, 'cause
If you take him along with the hunting trip.
I'm most definitely short on coin right now.
Can you take care of yourself?
I just want to be along for the ride. I've only heard tales of buffalo hunting.
I'm just more worried. Should we be watching you? In case.
I'll
something
stay in the
happens.
cart.
Okay, thank you. I
So-
got myself a bounty I'm going after. Y'all mind helping me with that? You, especially. You're a big man. Was that a yes?
That's a yes.
All right. Well, why don't we head out first thing in the morning at dawn then?
Okay.
All right. I'll be.
Do you know of any?
No, please don't tell me
locations
you've
for
been looking
buffalo
for this
I
man
can
in
join?
town.
I would leave that to the hunter.
Okay.
That being said,
Just real
I'm
quick.
late for dinner. I'm headed to the hotel.
Me and him, I'm explaining to him, when somebody has a bounty on them, you're not going to find them in a small town like this where the bounty is pinned. You're going to have to go outside the town to find them.
Track them.
And okay, so you said 100,000 for my bounty. Is that 100,000 gold?
No, it was 100.
It was 100 gold.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. 100 gold is a high price.
That's what I know. That's high. I was just like, I thought I heard you say 100,000. I was like, that's
How
got to be
much for
copper or
rent?
something.
Rent.
Because at the moment, we don't have that kind of coinage. How much for it to take
I mean, he's gonna go with us, so.
Well, I'll come along and I'll bring my cart with us tomorrow, and when you guys make enough money, then you can buy it off me later.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, no, thank
What?
you. And
Oh,
he gets the bottle back, and it's got 1 gold, and
Oh, sorry.
throws it into the
I'm not,
street.
my character's actually not much of a drinker.
I'm gonna
I
try to
took
catch
a
it.
huge gulp.
I'm gonna try to catch it.
Sure, go ahead.
Agility?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, dirty.
Dirty 20? Yeah, sure. You catch it. Just tail, just kind of grabs it.
And it goes into my pack.
Okay.
I look at. I'm sorry about that. I was thirsty.
And it's like, oh no, I offered you the drink.
What time in the morning?
Sunrise.
Is that like 6
That's
o'clock?
There's
gonna
no
be-
clock in
that's-
town.
Okay,
Is it-
sunrise
it's a
is gonna
general.
be after 4 a.m.
So,
I have something to do at 4 in the morning. So I might be a little dirty.
I don't want to know.
When
But
is-
I have dinner to go to, and he turns around and walks to the hotel.
Where are we staying for the night?
Follow me. I'm
Sounds
actually
good.
right across the.
I say we meet back
Are you
here
at the same place as
tomorrow.
We're all together.
5,
Oh no, I
6?
think you went to a different one.
Sunrise.
You went to the north.
I'm at his.
Yeah.
You're going in opposite direction to where I
Yeah.
need to go, and he's gonna go same direction as me.
But it's literally like,
So we're just splitting up.
For the night.
So
yeah.
we got our own separate groups.
Different hotels.
Yep.
That's what happens when the DM puts multiple hotels in
I'm
some
gonna
town.
say let's meet up in the center of the town, like
He already
In the park.
said we'll meet up
Yeah.
right where we are.
Okay.
All right. So you get up bright and early the next morning. It's Thomas's, bedtime in a couple hours. He sleeps early mornings to about noon-ish. But you walk into the saloon where he is. It's dead quiet. This is he's gotten behind the counter, pulled out bottles, and he's got coins on the counter. He's got his own little tab opened up. He's got a deck of cards sitting next to him.
Is this noisy? What's going on over there?
He said it
No.
was dead quiet.
Dead quiet in the tavern.
Oh, okay.
But he sees you come in, walks over, throws the cards on the table, sits down. All right then. Pulls out a small purse. Pulls out about 15 copper coins. Stacks them up next to him. Why don't you deal the cards?
Huh? We're fighting.
Yeah. With cards.
That's when you just grab the gun and just throw it.
And I just start laughing.
There's a from one of the rooms up there. You hear a thump thump thump.
Is it a?
Oh, I'm like, I wonder what they're doing.
No, it's a be quiet. It's still early in the morning.
Oh, gotcha.
Thump thump.
Yeah, I was wondering, is it repetitive?
Fisticuffs.
Do I look like I'm in a fisticuffs against a lizard folk who stands twice my height? Why don't we have a fair?
Quiet. You were talking big talk.
Yeah. I see how good your poker face is, buddy.
Okay, this is. I wouldn't take this shit.
I sit down.
Okay.
I got up this early for not even a fight.
Okay. So he's asked you to deal the cards.
Dex or agility to shuffle nicely.
Shuffling nicely. A performance check. Go ahead and roll an agility, dexterity check. Dexterity.
I'll look agility.
Agility.
If I can
big,
pick.
Nah,
dexterity small.
not for something this small.
That'll be a 10.
10. It's
4.
like watching your mom shuffle, or your dad, or your brother. It's
Okay.
nothing
My
fancy.
dad and my mom, totally different.
Yeah.
It's like watching your parents shuffle cards, like old ladies shuffle cards. They're not doing it really fancily. They're just getting it done.
Okay.
But
No.
4 cards each, and he looks at his hand, and let's see here. Just roll a d16.
Since luck is a strength of mine,
Mm-hmm.
do I use a d20 if I use...
No, it'd still
Okay.
be a d16. You can just
Okay.
re-roll it.
Okay.
But he looks at it and he says, "I'm gonna throw 2, take 2."
Okay. My is a... And you said just on the die, right? So that'll be a 6.
Okay.
I tried to read him.
Okay. Give me a minute.
Yep.
He's throwing 2 and taking 2. And he looks at his cards for a bit. He's holding 4 cards. Are you throwing any or taking any?
I'm reading him first.
Okay. Roll a charisma check.
21.
21. He looks like he's holding a pretty fair hand.
Okay. I put my 2 and forgot 2.
Okay. So when you do that, you can roll a d6. And if it's evens, you can add it to your number. If it's odds, you subtract from your number.
Oh. Okay. D6.
It's a square.
It's an odd.
Okay. You don't have to tell me right away, but he takes 3 copper pieces and sets them into the middle of the table.
You said odd decreases, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the backdrop.
I use, I guess, deception to act like I got some really good cards. Or does that go off of that 21?
No, not at all. Go ahead and roll a charisma check.
Okay. 19.
19. Gotta check and see what this guy's stat is. Okay. What do you put in?
I throw in 1 extra.
Okay, so you raise him 1.
Raise, yeah.
He'll raise you 3. He's putting in 6.
Okay. This is the end?
You gotta wait and you gotta put more in to even him out. He's put in 6 total now, and you've only put in 5. Okay. I think you got crap. So what's your number?
He bid a 19? Dang.
Yeah, he's got some. He's got an 8 on his charisma, or on his observance. So.
Well, you done?
Throws down his cards. He's got a stronger hand than you.
Okay, I have a 5.
Yeah. He's rolled a 19 total. Actually, no, a 20 total. He's rolled a dirty 20 with his hand. So he won the first hand. He's taken 6 of your copper coins.
I was super excited for the fight. Me too.
I baited you into that one, didn't I?
Like I
Can you
called
break
the, I
this?
called that guy.
That is 10. You get
I lost
4
6.
back. Okay.
I called the funeral home owner of it. This kid is a bitch.
All right.
Gather the cards. Put them on the table.
He shuffles.
Okay.
Deals. He does a relatively impressive shuffle. He's played himself some cards. But you don't have to tell me your roll.
Okay.
He takes 2.
Hang on.
So
Marker?
so what he actually does is he takes 3, and he rolls a d8 to evens odds still. Same rules. Okay.
Man, wait, hang on. He got a 20 when rolling a 16 and he can't.
16, added a 4, rolled a 4 because it was odds.
Alright, lucky son of a gun. Okay.
Says the guy who gets to re-roll his roll.
So he took 3, which the rules of taking 3 or replacing your full hand is it goes up a dice size each time, and it's still the same rule. Put in a silver piece. Okay. He's matching your silver piece.
Okay. I try to use deception,
Okay.
thinking that, darn it.
So you're trying to play off that you have a worse hand than you have?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh.
19.
Excuse me.
Okay. He throws in another silver piece. Whole purse?
Whole purse.
With 1 copper inside. Now he's gonna count out the kid's money.
He's got 3 more silver pieces that hit the table.
All in.
That about matches.
No.
Oh, no. He still owes you a copper. He owes you 2 coppers.
Actually, no. Technically, let's see here. I have to roll for this. I might have done that wrong. Nope. Yep. He throws all 3 silver pieces onto it.
Okay. And I'm like, miss.
Throws down his coins. He's rolled a total of 8 on his hand.
Okay.
Yeah, he's rolled a total of 8 on his hand.
15.
15? Yeah, you win the hand.
Get on!
He gets up. He's red in the face. You've completely broke him. And he's... Keep your cards. He leaves the deck of cards.
You've made a very unlikable character, and I love it.
So, I grab the deck. I go through. I look for the lowest number.
Okay.
I take it. I take a bite out of it and hand it to him to remember me by.
Roll a charisma check.
Go, my boy.
13.
Okay. Takes it. Takes off his hat. Sticks it in the brim.
Oh,
Puts it back on his head. Walks out.
He's gonna totally say, "This is from the time I killed a lizard man."
Alright, just, he gave a little respect for taking it. Alright, right on.
Okay.
And you got a little money.
Yes, I do. I doubled my money.
All right. So you end up waiting in the inn for a little while.
There's no one watching now?
It's quiet. This was early morning. You guys lit the lights yourself. You know, this is getting up early for some people, going to bed late for Thomas.
Okay. I sit back. Oops, sorry. I sit back in my chair. Start filing.
Okay. Who was the first person to step forward to help with the wagon ride? Okay.
Yeah.
So about middle of the evening. We're gonna rewind a little bit. Middle of the evening. No.
Okay.
It's the middle of the evening. Someone comes knocking at your door.
I open the door and answer.
Okay. Standing before you are 3 white-clad halflings. And hobbits, basically.
Okay.
They have little black mustaches. They look like Mexican hobbits.
Are they mariachis?
No, they're not. They look like suntanned farmers.
You get Dr. Pepper, right? That you brought?
And he
By the way,
didn't
you got
put it in the freezer. Didn't put it in the fridge. I'm gonna need one of those.
I was about to say, I actually have Buffalo Rock Ginger Ale, but it's actually outside the deck.
The Buffalo, what now?
Buffalo Rock Ginger Ale. It's ginger ale, but like
I don't like ginger ale.
strong ginger ale.
I don't like ginger ale at all. Thank you. The heck?
You got the broke ass kid. Let me see it. I know how to open those without making a mess.
Well, why don't you drink that one then?
Because I had a drink already.
What the heck? What'd you guys do to these things?
Here.
The heck?
Did you want these in the fridge or just leave them there?
I thought that was a carbonated drink. I'm like,
You can stick them in the fridge, cool them off. Just don't forget them.
You look like you're in pain.
Paranoia.
Delicious.
No, not the mask. Like you were making a face.
Oh, I was like,
The mask over the face hides so much of the features of the
Okay, I
animal.
just have to point out, I'm seeing your
I can
Dragonborn.
call an Uber. I should probably charge my phone a little bit.
how much is it for you to get home?
Actually, let's see.
It's about
It's gonna
20
cost about
bucks.
20-something bucks to get us
Yeah.
home. To get one of us home. I
Are
gotta
you-
take it over too.
Are you on the way to his house?
Yeah, I actually am.
Because you can do a double stop, and it costs
Those are
a lot
actually,
less.
it's not any less. Me and Nate used to do it all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it would actually cost me $25.
To get to your house?
That's a lot.
And it cost me about 22. Because I'm only a little bit closer than him.
That is a lot. All right.
It's way out of my
So
way.
the hobbits,
Yeah.
Cheap,
The
it's not
hobbits.
that
the hobbits come into the room.
driving, but
I,
Go for it.
before...
We only have like 15-20 minutes left, so can we focus on that for now?
Yep.
We can worry about that when we're cleaning up?
Before they come in, I go, what do you want?
Pardon me, senor. We saw you today driving the wagon and defending that man and his proper rights. We were wondering if we might ask you for your help.
What do you,
There it is.
what do you need help with?
May we come in?
Yes. For now.
The 3 of them step into the room. They each have their small white sombreros off. It's just this simple white topped, not a big super sombrero. It's just a small one.
The regular one.
Yeah. But the one who's speaking introduces himself. I'm Fulbert Bracegirdle. You see, our village.
Centelli.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Our village has been, well, taken advantage of for quite some years now. And he's very nervously rubbing the edge of his sombrero.
Okay, are there any chairs in my room?
There's one.
I grab one, spin it around, sit it in front of the bed, sit down on the bed, and say, sit.
Okay.
Calm yourself.
He still sits down. His friends stand beside him. He says, we have been taken advantage of for quite a few years. You see, there is this man. One of the others pipes in, Calvera. He comes with his sieves and he takes our food. He takes our Our wines are all our hard labors and leaves us with barely enough to survive. Our children, they are crying at night because they are hungry. Please, we saw that you have knowledge and skill. We don't have much, but we were wondering if you could help us buy weapons to defend ourselves.
This Calvera, is he the only one hurting you? Are there other gangs hurting you?
No, it is him and his men. There are about 40 of them. But we do not know what to do. We spoke to the elder and he said we must fight or die. Just last month when he came through, Nibs tried to strike out and stop one of the men from taking his chickens. They shot him where he stood and he died in his wife's arms. His children are now orphans. If this goes on any longer, we will have nowhere to go.
Stand. And I reach over onto my bedside table, take the Bowie knife by the blade, and hand it to him by the handle.
Okay.
Show me how you would fight.
It's probably my phone.
When he even takes it,
It's always,
just taking
always
it in
has
his hand,
problems charging.
it's obvious he doesn't know how to handle a weapon.
Are you the average in experience when it comes to combat?
We do not know combat. We are farmers. We know plants and animals. Gesundheit.
Thank you. Okay.
Robotic sneeze.
Oh, I forgot you were actually.
Shush! Bam Bam does not know.
I know now.
Yeah. I was dropping little hints, and then you had to do that. Anyway, I take back the knife,
Okay.
set it back down. Do you know where he is based?
We do not know. He comes and he goes in the night. He usually comes once every 2 months. It's been about a month now. He will be back in about 4 weeks, maybe.
Alright. We have some time. I say we get you and your people some basic weaponry. Some crossbows and short swords, maybe.
Okay. He says, I do have money. Not much, but it's all our village could spare. And he
How much?
pulls out about 5 copper pieces, 2 silver pieces, and that's about it. And a pocket watch.
Ouch.
It's not really my skill. I am a rogue. Oh, do I have appraisable? Oh, appraisable? No, I don't. I have knowledge as my,
Roll a general knowledge check
Okay.
to see, you know,
nat 20.
Nat 20. You think about it for a moment, and you come to a realization that men are a lot less expensive than weapons. You might be better off hiring a few hands with the money they've got.
I was wondering how much the pocket watch would be worth.
Oh, the pocket watch.
Yeah.
Okay. The gold piece, maybe, if you got a good deal.
Okay.
Not much.
Put your money away. With the time we have and our resources, it's better to hire some men to help guard your village while someone else deals with Calvera. I'd be willing to deal with Calvera and help you get a hold of some men to help guard you while I deal with that. I have some friends who will help me, hopefully.
All right. You are the experienced one with this. We cannot offer much, but we will offer you this money, and
No,
we can
keep
offer
your
food
money.
and lodging while you are in our village.
I can take the food and lodging, but keep the money. If that's all you have, that's what you need.
We thank you. We will see you in the morning then.
Yes.
All right. What time and what place?
I will be meeting with my associates at sunrise. How early are you willing to get up?
Whenever is needed.
Let's meet at 4.
All right then. Where?
Down in the saloon. below us.
Okay. And they thank you, and they leave, head out, and being that it is 9:31, you got about 10 minutes left, give or take. So you just finished up your gambling game. What saloon were you staying in?
I was staying in the north one.
The north one. Where were you? South one.
Me and him went in the south one. The one at
I
the
thought we
bottom.
were at the top.
No, you were at the south. We're in the north.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm in the north as well.
okay. So do you tell him it all in the night, or do you?
I don't know. Oh wait, no, we should ride together. Would you have told me which room you're in?
Yes.
Okay. I'd go knock on your door.
Okay. I have my 6-shooter.
Okay.
I'd say, who's there?
Sam.
Crack open the door. You kind of see the barrel a little bit. I put it back in the holster. Are you alone?
Yes. I wanted to talk to you.
Okay, come in.
I explained to him the situation.
Okay.
I have a bounty that I'd be willing to split with you, and if the other two help them as well. It'd be 25 apiece. 25 gold.
Gold.
Yes.
So that is one of my weaknesses. I am very fond of jewels, gold, money, gems, whatever, valuable items. I am all for it.
Okay. I have some, let's call them clients. They're being harassed and murdered by a man named Caldera. I plan to go hunt him down.
Did they offer us any valuables?
Roll a deception check. And you do not have proficiency with it.
Yes, I do.
You have proficiency in charisma
Deception specifically.
with fire,
No.
No,
that's
it's
my
intimidation.
You said I could have it as a skill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I forgot. You're rogue.
Okay, plus you, I'll spend a point. Where'd you go?
Pen.
Marker.
Where did my D? Why does my dice disappear? Thank you. So that'd be a 13.
13.
We're tied. Oh no, you're gotta add your charisma.
Yeah, it's
Oh no, your observance for this.
observance.
Mhm.
So 8, 11. So that's 13 plus 8.
Yeah, you beat him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He knows.
Yeah, you can tell he's holding back something. It's just that scent of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough to fill a pocket. Not worth taking.
So how much is the bounty? You said
25 apiece. Gold.
25 apiece.
Which is a lot.
What are the dangers?
We will be infiltrating and killing a man who has 40 guards.
I gotcha. Okay.
But the goal is to kill him.
Right.
We don't need to-
Is there anything against anybody that gets in our way?
As long as it's not some innocent guy down the road that you walk by, no.
Okay.
They're bandits. They murder and pillage and steal. I don't care if we kill them.
And where do these people stay?
They have a village that is being held hostage.
Okay. I'm in.
Alright. We will talk to the others in the morning. Anything you need to talk to me about tonight?
Not of importance.
Okay. I'll see you then.
as you step back down the steps to go to your room, barkeep turns to you, says, "Couldn't help but overhearing. Got a bit of a job. Want me to spread the word around? You're looking for men."
Cheap men.
Work is work. I'll let the word around.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay. And being that it's 9:37, I think that's a really good cutoff point. Unless, Carl, you wanted to do anything before your character went to bed.
He does not want to do anything.
So, that being said,
What's your address?
Mine, just so
Yeah.
I don't
While
forget.
we're on live stream.
Yeah.
No, okay, yeah, that's true. Oh, should wait.
you can text it.
Ooh.
While we're on live
Saying
stream.
address.
Yeah, I wasn't going to.
In the morning, on sunrise.
I was looking up at 6666.
To
Whoa.
him.
Let's go lane.
What's up?
My whistle.
Oh, okay.
Because we're in Washington,
Um,
Morning night
D.C.
whistle.
I'll just let you know nothing happens.
Okay, I'm just letting you know it's like a routine.
You just do it every morning. Okay. When it's cold and the air travel or sound travels farther. All right. So that ends the first session of the Far Pages. What'd you guys think?
It was fun.
It
Wish we
went
could go longer.
Yeah.
I know, right?
This
But I
is
hate
true.
you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to keep it on the level for my roommate. My roommate's gonna be home in about. He wants it quiet in about 22 minutes, so I gotta get some dishes done, make some coffee to stay awake over the night. But so I gotta work tomorrow night.
Well, if you set up at my house, I will set up the studio.
Okay, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Because we gotta get some decent camera positions and a decent table.
And the internet, it's fine. It's just you can't do like heavy stuff.
The download speed isn't what I'm looking for. It's the upload speed. Double check your speed. If you can get between 6 and 20 megabytes per second
Okay.
upload speed,
Yeah, upload
that's
is good.
what I need.
Upload is good. The download is not so good. It's like downloading video games on Xbox. It's just really slow.
Takes forever.
The fuck you do with
Yeah.
my dice?
If you can get
Oh, there it
decent
is.
upload speed, then
Where
we
is
could probably
my
live stream from your
case?
house.
And I do have a place where we can studio the whole thing.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, that being said, we will plan to meet again next Monday. Probably from here again until we figure out our studio at Bam Bam's. So, but that being said, good first session. Got you through the opening.
This is really nice.
Took me a
Thank you.
while.
I know it did. So I just want to say I appreciate you going into detail of each and every person.
Yep. Also, XP for this one. Bonuses to you for doing such a good job. I'm keeping it slow, so 10 XP for everyone. You get 15.
And these are all get to take home.
You can take them home, but I don't recommend taking them home. I recommend folding them inside your binder and leaving them here. Because otherwise, when you get here next week, you have no money.
This is true.
Another
How
thing?
many XP?
10 for you.
Okay.
10 for Bam Bam. 10 for you. 15 for you. Pardon me.
I like how I kind of just automatically fit the bill of a bounty hunter by accident. I mean, that's my job.
Same here. I'm not really a bounty hunter.
No,
either.
you do not fit the bill of a bounty hunter, but like I
Well-
accidentally acted like one.
My looks are kind of a bounty
Your
hunter.
behavior is not. That's what I was talking about.